Yo, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another This Day in Baseball history video. This is August 13th. We've got a fun one for you today. Three pretty recent news, stories, stats, baseball tidbit information that I think are super cool, so stick around for that. But before we get into it, if you like this video, if you have not subscribed, make sure to do that down below. Or if you've missed any other videos in this series, there will be a little button up here to link you to some of those other videos throughout this video, so check those out. But let's jump into this, starting in 2013 on this day in baseball history, August 13th, for just the second time in MLB history, when this began in 1916. So it could have happened before then, but probably not in that era of baseball. But for just the second time in baseball history, both leadoff batters in a game hit home runs in their first at-bat and later in the game. So leadoff guys both hitting multiple home runs, including one home run from their first at-bat. This happened again, like I said, 9 years ago today, from Seattle's Brad Miller and Tampa Bay's Ben Zobrist. The Mariners ended up winning that game 5-4 at Tropicana Field. But this happened once before, as I mentioned, and I always like to throw a little bit of a Twins twist into these videos. It happened with the Twins, in fact, in 1994, the strike season. It happened June 5th, where the Tigers ended up winning that game 5-3 over the Minnesota Twins. Chuck Knoblauch, who had 2 home runs in that game, including one in the first inning, that satisfies the requirements for this. He went 2 for 4 in that game. Chuck Knoblauch was a guy who, well, if you want to look at his career, helped them win that 91 World Series. He played 151 games. He was Rookie of the Year. He was huge for the Twins back then, but his stats didn't really, I would say, blow you out of the water. We don't have to get into that necessarily in this video. Just a 280 hitter, a 91 OPS plus, but in this game where they did lose, and it wasn't that year, but you understand what I'm saying, he had a good game, and he had 2 home runs in that one. The other guy, Tony Phillips for Detroit, had a couple of home runs in that game as well. So really cool that not only did this happen in Major League Baseball for only the second time, but that one of the times it was the Twins. So very cool. Let's jump ahead now to 2015, just a couple of years later. On this day in baseball history, 2015, the Blue Jays joined the 1954 Cleveland baseball team as the only 2 teams to have 11-game winning streaks twice in the same season. So 2 separate 11-game winning streaks. The Blue Jays of 2015 did this when they beat the A's at Rogers Center 4-2 today. And also at the beginning of the June, in June, I should say, they did it as well. Toronto, this was the year when I think they got Josh Donaldson as well. Let me look this up. 2015 Blue Jays. I'm pretty sure this team was absolutely stacked. Let's look at the roster here. 2015 Blue Jays roster. You've got Mark Buehrle was on this team. Matthew Boyd was on this team. Man, Brett Cecil was good. Let's look at the position players. Russell Martin might have been his prime back then. Chris Colabello, who fell off the face of the earth. But then you've got Josh Donaldson, Edwin Encarnacion. You had Jose Reyes on this team, Justin Smoke, Troy Tulowitzki, Danny Valencia, Jose Bautista, Kevin Pillar, Ben Revere. That's a twin right there. And a couple of other guys. So kind of a stacked roster for back in 2015. A couple of good pitchers as well. Liam Hendricks is on this team. LaTroy Hawkins. So there you go. But yeah, 2 11-game winning streaks in that season. Kind of cool. They were stacked that year. They went on to win the AL East 93-69 on the season. And was that the year that Bautista hit the home run? Holy cow, was it? Now I have to look that up. Jose Bautista. I should have had this pulled up. Home run Rangers. We all remember that one. Was that 2015 already? It was. Holy cow. October 14th. So that'll be on This Day in Baseball History. A little spoiler for you there in a couple of months. But, yeah, what a season that was. They ended up losing after that, after beating the Rangers. But, yeah, really, really cool. That was a super cool game. But anyway, go Blue Jays, I guess. And let's jump ahead one more, couple of years, 3 more years to This Day in Baseball 2018. Ronald Acuna Jr. becomes the 4th player in history to lead off both games of a doubleheader with a home run, where he smacks, is what the verbiage is here, Merandy Gonzalez's first pitch of the nightcap over SunTrust Park's center field wall. He was 20 years old at the time. Yeah, it doesn't give you the first pitcher of that game. Let's see if I can find that. But the 20-year-old phenom, is what it says, joins Harry Hooper of the Red Sox, Ricky Henderson of the A's, and Brady Anderson as the only players to ever accomplish that feat before. Once again, that's hitting a home run in the first game and the second game of a doubleheader to lead off the game. A lot of home runs here in this episode here, but I do want to look this up. What was the stat? It was Ronald Acuna Jr. game log from 2018. Let's see if we can find it here. Oh man, I'm on the wrong year. All right, 2018. This was his rookie season. And let's go down to the 13th, when they played the Marlins in both games. Do I not get to see the... Okay, ESPN's dumb. It doesn't give you the... Maybe it does. Okay, here you go. Ronald Acuna Jr., he homered in the first inning of the first game. That was off of Gonzalez. And then in the second game, he homered off of... Pablo Lopez? Wow, there you go. Pablo Lopez almost getting traded this year. So, super cool. Both of them went over 400 feet. Ronald Acuna Jr. is a beast. That's all you got to say about that one. But, yeah, the Braves won both of those games, 9-1 in the second game and 6-1 in the first game. So, maybe Ronald Acuna Jr. is just a lucky guy when gives the Braves some luck when they're playing the bad Marlins team and they were at home. That was in the midst of a 5-game winning streak as well. Then they went on to get swept by Colorado. Interesting. And then they won 4 more games. Crazy how baseball works. But that's all I got for you today. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. Love talking about baseball. So if you have any, stuff that I missed, if there's something cool that happened on your team today, love to talk about it down below. If Noodles & Company wants to sponsor me, I'd love to have it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.